From youth age, it's my passion of the game, and I want to play at that time when I was a kid, and I grew up. I do love to coach, and I think I like to promote the sport, and I always have a good vision to see how can we grow better players, how can we have top level players.
Unleash your serve's power. Join our academy and dominate the court. Spots filling up fast. Enroll now.
Welcome to the Silicon Valley Tennis Show. I will be right back. Welcome to another excited episode of Silicon Valley Tennis Podcast. I am Coach Francisco Ruiz, and today we will have a special line for different parents, different players. We will have two remarkable players from the academy, different age, different times. One of them is going to a Stanford University, graduated from Cornell Club. And my other one is David Araiza. David has a remarkable sports extension, work in the United States Tennis Association, champion and diversity inclusion, and grassroots tennis development. These two players belong to the academy, different ages. David came in the age of 9. Chris came in the age of 14. They became top players being here in the summer, and then we will keep track of these wonderful years. Welcome you two guys to the wonderful show of Silicon Valley Tennis, and this is summer program 2024. That would be amazing to hear the experience and what parents will get into this wonderful summer. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Morning, Francisco.
Where are you located right now, David?
I am in my house in Canton, Georgia, right outside of Atlanta. So
I love your tennis racket on the left.
thank
Chris,
you.
where are you located?
I'm in my room at Stanford right now. I'm a
All
graduate.
right. Thank you guys to join me today. I think it's a great experience for the younger players and for parents to understand the journey of your career and how the Silicon Valley has always promoted the program and make better players. I think this is one of the greatest things. And you two of them, they came to the academy, and I like to start with David. David, just you start with something. When you came the first time to United States to the academy, maybe you want to share some experience, and maybe parents will say, wow, this is the right place.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think the first time that I went, I was 9 years old. We didn't know Francisco. We didn't know anything about Francisco, to be quite honest. We were playing a national event in Mexico, and my mom got a brochure from another player that had previously attended the program academy. So, my parents started making a couple of phone calls, and yeah, I mean, we ended up going to Silicon Valley. I was 9 years old at the time, like I was previously saying, and yeah, I remember it didn't hit me that I was going to have a summer away from home, if you will, until I was at the gate at the airport in my hometown in Mexico. And I look back, and I'm all the way through security, and I'm like, okay, here's where the journey begins. And yeah, no mom and dad to be there to hold my hand, right? But yeah, I mean, like I was saying, I really didn't know what to expect. But I do remember the first practice that I had there. And I can tell you that I thought I will have tough practices at home, but I remember the first practice that we had. I realized very soon that you know, I was in the great in as great of shape that I thought I ever was. So
yeah. Chris, what was your experience the first time you came here too? You were a little older, your parents dropped you, you didn't know anything. You came from New York to train over here. Tell me more about it.
Yeah, so I'm from New York. And I was I think I was like 13 or 14 years old. And I was in the Bay Area with, I guess my twin sister was here too. We were here to play tennis, and I think someone had suggested that we come to Silicon Valley Tennis with Francisco. And then from there, I think we spent the summer camp of that year with Francisco. And yeah, since then, I think we kept coming back every summer. And then even I went to school in New York, every time I would have like spring break or a week off, I would often come to Francisco to practice and even stay with him sometimes. And that's where I made the most progress over like my time in high school.
David, tell me, 9 years old, I will never forget, you were playing under 14s. I didn't make you play under 12s. And that was a little bit tougher for you, and but your whole career changed from the beginning in that times. I will never forget that year. I went back home in December, and this tournament called Casablanca, an international tournament, and you were ready to practice, to play. You were playing, I think, in that tournament you play already. I don't know, you played the 18s, so you played the 14s, and your sister were playing the 18s. And it was tough training. What was training for you? And what it takes that training today into your life?
I'm having a hard time. Can you repeat the question, Francisco? I think my connection was a little bit slow.
The question is, when you came, I will never forget, you had it training, and then you played this international tournament in the age of 14, 13, called Casablanca. You were a younger kid. But the question is, what was training for you in the summer? Because I will never forget, you came for 2 weeks, and you finish for 8 weeks in the summer. You stay here for a long time, looking forward to return back to California. Tell me more about this wonderful experience.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was, like, to your point, it was a great experience, right? I think, yeah, I think the plan was to stay there. I don't know if it was 2 or 4 weeks, but I think I was saying that at the beginning of the podcast, right? That I didn't know what to expect, and it was, just a great experience, right? In all aspects. So training was hard. We've never been exposed to anything like it. Also, the tournaments that we got to play in California. I mean, I think I was playing 2 or 3 age groups higher, so it was good for me to build my confidence. And yeah, you were talking a little bit about that year was the 14 and 18s. I played the 14 age group, and yeah, I think I made it to the semifinals. But yeah, if I can go back a little bit of about my career, I think I I mean I have a sister. She's 3. Tennis was the one that would do better at tennis and really anything. But I have to say, not until we started going to train with you in those summers is what to excel, or when I really started, developing my tennis game. And yeah, it really wasn't until the first summer where I started seeing results. So we're talking about from I was probably in national events here or in Mexico, I wouldn't even qualify to the main draw, and then training with you, and I started to entry, to these events. I then started becoming seated, and eventually I ended up winning some national events. So, I don't know what the secret sauce is, but yeah, great experience all around.
Chris, same thing goes to you. You were not a top player after you came first summer here. What happened to you?
I guess I was not a top player when I first showed up when I was 14, but then yeah, I started making a lot of progress with Francisco whenever I would come. And yeah, I played in New York too, but it's really here when I would make the most progress, and Francisco would give me the best suggestions and things to do. I think one thing is that he travels a lot to like professional tournaments and always knows what the most recent thing, that what's happening in the like pro level tennis and what one should be practicing. A few things he taught me or to improve right away when I came is things like taking the ball early. I had like a huge backswing too when I started when I came. And yeah, he really taught me how to improve and try to copy the things that the professional players are doing. So I made a lot of progress in like even like the first year. When I came back the next summer, I think I was a lot better, according to him.
Well, both of you guys went to run with me. We run that hill. I don't know if you guys remember Rancho San Antonio Hill. That was, and it's still to today, I use that hill to go run and make the sprints. I don't know, how was your body feel after running these hills? Both of you work in many things is still the same: conditioning, toughness, agility, moving. What did you guys remember about that hill? I don't have a picture of that hill. One day I will put a picture of that hill and Rancho San Antonio, where I used to make sure everybody runs. I don't know. David, I was a little tougher than I was with Chris, I do have to say. I don't know. How many times do you remember you used to run the hill?
I, I don't know. I mean, it's been so long that I can remember exactly the amount of times that we used to go to the hill, right? But I I wonder if I was just running on adrenaline because I remember the first thing that you took us. You were like, well, there's mountain lions there, so if you see one, just run. So there's that. And then I don't know if Chris he would do the same thing to you. He would be like, okay, I will drop you guys off at the bottom, and then I'm gonna drive around and I'll meet you at the top of the hill. And if you're not there, I'm just gonna leave you. So, you know, you, I mean, I don't know, and I coach as well, so you kind of have to do those kind of things to motivate your players, right? Um, but yeah, luckily, I don't know if it was true or not. I never got left behind, but also, it's I never mind hard work. Um, I mean, I would look forward to it. I know that during what we were running, I didn't enjoy it, but then afterwards, um, I mean, it was a good sense of accomplishment, right? I
Well,
also remember when you used to take us to Stanford to run the steps. Uh, Also love that type of training. I mean, just I guess because it was something different and we wouldn't do it at home. Um, it was always, at least on my end, it was always well received.
Stanford, we don't do anymore Stanford. In Stanford, they changed the whole entire stadium. That times we used to go minimum 75 to 110 stairs, double stairs with the little steps on the right side. Now where we do it in San Jose State. I think, Chris, I think you did San Jose State. I don't know. Remind me. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, you did take us to San Jose State. I remember doing the stairs in that stadium. Yeah, there was like one, or you would do two at a time, and yeah, just make us run up and down a lot. But at the ranch San Antonio, I remember you didn't leave me to run to the top alone. I think you went with us, or you were running
Yes.
a bit behind. But you did warn us about the mountain lions, which I didn't.
It, you know,
I didn't.
it's still good. I'm in shape. I can continue running. Keep going, Chris.
No, yeah, I remember. I remember the hill. I don't know how many times you took us either, because it was a long time
No,
ago. But
I think I changed a little bit in the time of Chris. With David, we used to run the bottom of the hill. We have to go. This hill is 1 mile. It's exactly 1 mile, but we have to run it in 7 to 10 minutes. And we get to the top of the hill, which is only 25 feet high. We used to do it with David. I used to have something like 15 to 20 times. And the exercise that were going forwards, back pedal, sideways. And with you, Chris, it was almost the same, but I was a little bit older, I have to say. So I used to do it with you guys, and I think it was only 10 times. The stairs was a crazy. The stairs in Stanford, it was brutal. More because in that time I was playing a lots of tournaments still. So I used to get in shape going to Stanford and run the stairs. In San Jose State, I didn't do it that much. I wasn't playing that much tournaments. But this is one of the stories I think people don't remember that much. How much training, physical training, and we're talking 25 years ago of this, you know, 30 years. And today's day, the tennis is amazing. Today's day, you have to train 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the afternoon, be in amazing fitness to be able to compete in any level. And think about the difference between you two guys. you still, in that time, you were training like a professional players, and that was my main goal, which is today making players to still training the same intensity. The difference too with David, I had a 7 courts. I don't know if you remember the liners. How many liners you have to do back and forth, David? You have to run 7 course liners by timing. With you, Chris, we did it only 3 courts because my business was smaller, so I have to make it smaller in that direction. You know, David, what did you accomplish in your career, like a tennis player, and what are you doing now?
Yeah, as a tennis player, um, well, if I have to go back to juniors, I mean, top player in Mexico from 12 through 18th, maybe, to 18 and unders. I did get an ITF ranking. I can't remember what my career or my highest ranking was as an ITF player, but I think it was 600s. I did get a couple of ATP points in doubles, but nothing really major. What else? Nothing really. I had the opportunity to come to play to small D2 school here in Georgia. We were top 10 school, all American in doubles, couple of years, and yeah, I mean, other than that, yeah, I mean, that's tennis has been good to me, and yeah, even now for work, I'm in the insurance world. I leverage my tennis network to network and get to meet people. The tennis community is very tight knit, and yeah, as even right now, the tennis still giving me back, right? In that fashion.
Chris, what is with you in your tennis career?
So I was not as good as that, but I played a lot in high school. I had my UTR was I played many tournaments in like the New York City area, and yeah, that place I had my UTR was like 11.5 when I was like finishing high school. I played for my high school team too. I was the first singles for I think almost all 4 years. And yeah, then I didn't play as much in college. I went to Cornell. I was on the club team there. They had a very good club team. And then I graduated from Cornell last year, and now I go to Stanford. And yeah, I'm on the club team here. So yeah, I like to continue playing. Right now, I'm a little injured, so I can't play. But it's tennis has been very very good for me and teaches me things like outside the court too. I'm mostly focused on academics now, but it has still taught me a lot there too.
Academically, this is something the parents always want to know. How do you manage it? And let me tell you, 11.5, 12 UTR for college is very good, Chris. It's very good. I know you had it, and we were talking about the priority. And David, you too. I think that was the priority of you parents, and it's something the parents need to understand. How many hours do you train, and how tough academically you guys really were? So you guys were very tough academically. David, why you don't tell me about your high school? What kind of high school did you and you finished with good honors? And I think this is important for parents to know.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, my my goal was to go pro. I finished ninth grade, and then I did homeschool for high school, right? I, you know, and so it was tough in the sense that, you know, what is that, 15, 16 years old, you have to prioritize your time within tournaments and practice. And to your point, Francisco, I was training all day, every day, and then on the weekends, well, I mean, or weeks at the time, we'll go to tournaments. So my high school experience was a little bit different from Chris's, maybe, right? Because I was not a full-time student. Um, so, I mean, yeah, in that sense, a little bit harder. I wish I would have, now in hindsight, right? I wish I would have um, been a full time student and complemented with tennis, just because um, it was it was too many things going at once, and you know, I had to grow up very, very fast, and I had to mature very, very fast as well. I mean, again, I'm living by myself at 15, traveling all over, and then I didn't have anybody, any mentor for school, right? It was like I had to figure everything out. So that was kind of a little bit of struggle on my side. Um, but yeah, I mean, I wouldn't change it for anything.
Chris, tell me, how was your high school? Because I know
Uh,
it was tough for you, different than so many kids in the Silicon Valley. Who took you to a school?
who took me to school? Or I went to school?
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, for me, the focus was more on school. I went to a very competitive high school in the city. It's called Hunter. And so, yeah, I definitely spent most of my time on school and in high school on like homework afterwards. But I also was spending a lot of time playing tennis. It would be like 2-3 hours practice after school, and then to come back and like do homework and such. So yeah, the focus was for me more on school, but I still did spend a lot of time playing tennis and had to manage that too, which was not too easy. But I was not like living on my own or anything. But I would go to like practice on my own or after school. So yeah.
That was wonderful. You know, David, let me tell you something about Chris. Like when you hear he say 11.5 UTR, he could be a pro level player.
Yeah, 11.5 is not easy.
So without putting 1000%, just play tough. He was very good. Amazing forehand like yours. I think you two have a very good forehand. But Chris could be a easy 14 if he concentrate more hours in the sport. But he wants to do. He's doing his master's and PhD right now, which is amazing. I think it's wonderful. But he has so much talent hitting the ball. His ball is so heavy. I don't know when the last time he beat me once only, and I think you beat me. I think you beat me when you got older.
Yeah,
in your
maybe.
senior year.
Yeah, I think it was older too. Maybe it was more than once though. I don't remember.
No. I think it was only one. David never beat me.
I never did.
I'm
No, but
sorry to tell you that.
I don't know if it was.
Lies.
I don't know if it was fair. I think I was maybe hitting too many drop shots.
Yeah, that's what we were doing. You start giving me drop shot, and let me tell you, I was beating him, and I don't know. Somebody coached him, and they said, "Don't give him the ball deep anymore. Give him some drop shot, and he won't move anymore." Who told you that? Do you remember?
I don't know if anyone told me that, but maybe I just noticed after that I was winning more of the points.
And that and it was. I hope so. One day you two meet each other. The forehand, and this is one of the things I do remember. That's why I put you together. Your forehands, they are very similar. very similar, and the movement on the court, you guys have the same movement of the court. Not really quick explosion, but you guys figured out where to put the ball and where to step into the next shot. You know, that will be something very good you should be doing. You should be in contact together because you guys don't know each other, and that would be great. And that's what the sport is about. You know, that will be great. And the only difference, David, you have an amazing volleys. Chris, how's your volleys today?
Well, today, I don't know. I can't really hold a racket because I'm injured. But I think they were solid.
Yes? Yeah, I think you didn't have a great touch. Regardless, you play a lot in France. You didn't have that much touch. Oh, you did?
I don't know.
I know. David, I know you have a good touch.
I used to. I've lost it. Yeah, it's no longer there. I'm struggling, but I really haven't had a chance to play a whole lot lately. I think 2023 I played 2 times. I played like 4 times this year so far. And it's funny because I'm playing on a reg league here on Saturdays, and then we had the first match of the season. I couldn't make a volley. I mean, I couldn't. Easy ones, hard ones. I just not non-existent. So, but I'll get back on it, and it'll come back hopefully.
Are you playing 5-5s or 5-0s?
No, this is way lower. So I can serve right now. I have a torn rotator cuff. So it's, I don't even know. I think it's probably like 5-0.
Wow. My God, you two injured.
Yeah.
What's happening here? I'm still good. That's what the sport is giving me to me. I'm still good. I'm able to play yesterday. Yesterday I was playing one of the top players that we have. And yes, I do hit once in a while. I don't really play that much. I stopped playing tournaments heavy last year. And this girl never really see me play. I just feed the ball, I coach her. And yesterday I said, I had enough. I want to show you something. So I said, we're going to play 24 points. And let's see how many points you win. Coach, I'm the one injured. You don't move that much. You're not able to do. Let's play it. So we start playing. What a surprise. The first point, I serve. She framed the ball. The ball bounced short, of course. I'm not going to run to a drop shot with a frame. I said, okay. So she won the point. She served. We play. I won 23 points in a row. It's still to today. And I say, come on. No. You start hitting me that ball over my head, and you start giving me the slides. I couldn't time in the ball. Yeah, that's what the game is about. I don't have the tools to play maybe a big speed, but I have to figure out how can I do it. And many times I think that's what my summer is. I make sure in the summer I put players to do footwork, to serve, come to the net, slice, touch. Today, what is the new coaching? Everybody said, Alcaraz drop shot. My God, the drop shot has been for years. Of course, today Alcaraz is giving a drop shot. But I think, and everybody is giving a drop shot, not just Alcaraz anymore. I don't know. Have you been following tennis lately? What do you think about the new players, David?
To be honest, since Roger retired, I haven't been keeping up as much, but I was at the Miami Open 2 weeks ago or last week. Yeah, 2 weeks ago. I got a chance to see Cora, Alcaraz. I mean, just so physical, right? Like I think, I don't know if all of the players, but from what I've seen, 80% of the players are so well rounded. They can do anything, right? They all have good serves. They all have good returns. They all move great. Great hands. They can play just as good coming into the net or staying back. I mean, they're just, they are so well prepared physically. They are machines. They are all. I don't know. I don't even know what the average height right now is in the ATP, but all of them are huge. I mean, like tall wise, right?
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, I think that's the difference right now. Is not only physically, mentally, but all of them are very well rounded.
Mentally, Chris, mentally, what do you think about the game today? You were very tough mentally.
Well, first thing I noticed today, as opposed to like a few years ago, is how strong, like physically, these players are. I noticed like they have like much more muscle. Like if you look at Alcaraz and other people like that, I think players used to be a little more skinny, and now it's just a lot stronger. They're hitting the ball. I don't know if it's faster actually, but it seems like much earlier, and everything is very fast. Mentally, yeah, I don't know what's going on in their head, but people like Djokovic are extremely strong mentally. You can tell whether like statistically they win almost everything. It must be, I mean, very hard to keep at that level for so long.
Chris, you were saying something about stronger. Tell us the story when you started doing weightlifting. What happened?
Oh, I wasn't lifting that many weights when I was like 14 years old, but I started maybe a few years ago, and then I got stronger too. I noticed that that was, I think, helpful for me to be able to like hit the ball faster, to react faster. I think in general having a better frame and being stronger helps in playing tennis. And I noticed I was just better, even though I hadn't been playing tennis that much. Just being in a better, stronger physical shape is very, very good.
David, how you got involved in tennis?
I think it was a summertime. So in Mexico, you belong to a club. We really don't have parks like we have them here in the U.S. But we were members of this tennis club, and within the club, we had our circle of friends. And it was one of those summers where all of our parents will drop us off, and we'll play at the club all day. We'll have lunch there and everything. We'll play basketball, soccer, everything, and the group, like we never really played tennis. And one day we discovered this game called mini tennis, right? And we played for hours. And then one of the coaches saw us and immediately pulled us into the academy. And yeah, I mean that was it. We both, my sister and I, just from the beginning loved it.
Teresita. Chris, why do you play tennis?
I started playing.
That's why you started, yeah.
Why did I start? I mean, I just I love the game. I watch people on TV. I was inspired. I like the way it feels to hit the ball, to play and to win. I don't know. It's just a love of sports, and that's the one that I liked so much growing up. I started playing tennis. I don't know exactly. Probably when I was 6 or 7 in France. When I go on vacation, and then since then, that's what I was obsessed with for a long time.
David, you play tennis with your children? I know they're little.
Yeah. So we have a 5 and a almost 2 year old, two next week. From the beginning with my oldest one, when he was born, I bought him a replica of a racket. Um, and I mean, on and off, yes. When he was younger, we will just hit balls inside the house with a sponge ball and everything. Um, with the little one, he just grabs a racket and it's like he knows how to do it. He knows how to roll the ball, and I don't know how he figured it out. My oldest one is now starting to ask more about playing tennis. He likes all sports, so he's doing ice hockey right now. But he wanted to be a tennis player today, so he dressed up as a tennis player to go to school.
Wow.
Yesterday he wanted to be a hockey player, so he used a hockey T-shirt, and so he tells us what he wants to do. Selfishly, do I want him to be a tennis player? Absolutely, and I'm going to steer him into that direction, but I don't want to push it either, right? I I want him to, or I want both of my kids to be able to play tennis. I don't care so much if they decide to pursue it like competitively, um, but I want them to play at a good level so that we can have those, you know, you just take them to the club and have that back and forth with your kids. And if there's ever a possibility to play like a father son type of national event, that selfishly would be my goal. So yeah, but long story short, they're getting exposed to it. Yes.
Chris, your dad plays tennis. Did you play competitive? Did you with him? Did you guys play on the court? Tell me more about that.
Yeah, my dad. I used to play tennis. I guess my dad doesn't play so much anymore, but I used to play a lot of tennis with my dad, and that was fun. We would, actually, he was probably the person I played with the most for some time in New York. We would we used to live in like downtown Manhattan. We would like get a bike and go to courts by like Hudson River and play for a long time. And yeah, he would take me many places to play tennis in like France too. I remember playing with him a little bit last summer in France. That was it's been a while since we had played. But yeah, I spent a lot of time playing with him, and also my sister too.
Clara, yes, Clara.
Yeah. She didn't play as much tennis as me growing up, but she's still a very good player. And she's also on the club team of her. Well, she goes to graduate school too. She's on her club team too and practices. So
Did she play club in Berkeley?
no, she didn't play club tennis in Berkeley, but I think she decided she wanted to play more tennis when she went to grad school. She goes to Harvard. So yeah, I think she joined like 2 months ago or something, and has been practicing with them. So that's nice.
So, like you can tell, David, they are very intellectual, both of them. But tennis has been part of their lives. Clara was a great player too when she came in the academy, but she went more into the running, into the. I don't know. Did she do marathons?
No, she didn't do marathon. She would do like track and field with her high school. I think she would run like 1 mile or a couple miles. Not a marathon, like shorter distances, but not sprinting either.
But and I think this is what I feel the sport can give it to us. Chris with his family, great connection. David, you with your family, with your children now, great connection. And I think this is what the sport is giving it. I do not remember, I might be wrong, when your parents that were so angry to you too because you got beat in a tournament. I don't know. I will never remember the complaints about your parents. Oh, my son is getting upset. How was your mom and your dad, David, when you play? And Chris, you go next. I want to hear you experience like a young children, and both of us play good level. How about your party treat you in the sport?
Yeah. Right. Open-minded as far as I, I I don't think the pressure. I had any pressure to win matches, but I think it was more about giving the best effort, right? And I see it now with my son, where we take him to a hockey lesson and he doesn't give it all. That's kind of the frustration, but no, I really can remember my parents getting upset about me losing a specific match, and that's um, kind of the way that I want to be as my kids grow up to be athletes, if they choose to be athletes. I mean, yeah, there were, and it is also hard, right? If your parents were not athletes, it's from the outside, and it even happened to me when I started coaching. From the outside, it's very easy to to have opinions about what's going on inside the court, but it's not until you're as a kid, you're in the court, you don't know how the player is feeling inside. Nobody chooses to double fault. Nobody chooses to miss easy shots. It just happens, and it has to do a lot with where you are at the stage of the match, right? Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, no, I have to give it to my parents. There was never anger due to a loss.
What did you say, Chris?
Yeah, for me, there also was, of course, never any anger or upsetness with me winning or I mean, losing. It was probably me more being upset if I lost. There was, yeah, I mean, they of course encouraged me to do my best, and that's what you can hope for. Um, but yeah, for me, the focus was more on academics, and there was more of a need to do well in that aspect, and it was probably me uh, wanting to be more focused on tennis or being upset if I lost. But there was never any pressure to like practice for a long time or to play tournaments and win them. That was, yeah, just coming from me.
I don't understand. And today, now, and I go back to different generations right here. I get parents, they think the game is so easy. And it really is so difficult sometimes. They don't understand it's not 2 plus 2. They think uh, in engineering, the equation is correctly, and if not, you find the right equation. The tennis is completely different, and they're trying to make the projection, the parents, into this. And one of the most difficult piece today, I think, is everybody wants to feel I have to do well. I have to do well. And then don't let the children do well. And this is an example I want to maybe put it to parents. You came with your tennis bag, with your shoes. Chris, I don't remember your parents that were carrying your bag. I see the players here walking, and the mom is carrying the racket. The mom is putting the sunscreen. The mom or the dad, oh, you missing the water. Wait. Why you don't let your kid breathe? And this is one of the great things of summer. Your kid will come in, let him go in. If your kid doesn't have water, believe me, the next day he will ask you for the water. If your kid get burned, the next day, let's put the sunscreen. And today is so difficult to get this kind of understanding. And then I try to explain to the parents. And many of them say, oh, is my only children? Oh, he needs some help. And it's like, wow, how can you do it? And the worst, I think this is the worst. To me, summer is one of the wonderful things. Why? How many hours did you play tennis in the summer, David? How many hours, Chris, you play tennis in the summer? Normally, what was your summer program? How many hours?
All day. It's easy.
All day.
Yeah.
Yes, and Chris?
Yeah, I think the same thing. Probably like 9 to, I don't know, 6 or something.
Yeah, and let me tell you a story about Chris, David. He's in my house, finish practicing the whole day, go back to our home, get his computer, and I have to do work and I have to do homework. That was what it was. And sometimes I say, what are you doing? Oh, no, I need to finish this project. Are you talking 7, 8 p.m.? I don't know. You used to go to bed 11, 11:30. I don't know. Do you still? I know you're still doing these things. Always doing. Yeah, I know. I remember breaks. He had a break between 8:30 in the morning to 1 o'clock. I don't know. And then what he has to do? Take his computer. Let me work for 45 minutes. But I have to say, I give him credit. One more time, many parents don't understand what is a UTR 11.5. You know, they don't get it. And he was very good academically too. So it's easier to combine both things together. And there is so many activities you're able to do. I wanted parents to understand the summer, let the kid play the most they can. If you want to sign in for math class, sign in, but concentrate in the sport and let the kid be kids. You know, that will be something unbelievable. This summer we get more kids to play the whole day. Couple things have changed. We don't have summer league anymore. You know, that doesn't exist anymore in Northern California. So we have to go look for tournaments. Tournaments now is a little bit different too. You have tournaments every week like you used to have, David, but we don't have to drive before. Chris, when David came, I had a huge van. I used to take the van, taking kids to tournament. I used to go to Stockton, Sacramento, Modesto, San Francisco.
Well, you still have the van now, right?
Huh?
You
Yeah,
still
we
have
still do it. We still have the band, but we don't take that many kids to tournament. In his time, I don't know how many kids there were in that band. Do you remember, David? Don't give me an idea.
I don't know. I mean, everybody that would be staying at your house plus 2 or 3 from the academy. If you were to get pulled over, that was an easy ticket. I'm gonna put it that way.
You know, we had a TV in the van. That was a great van.
Yeah.
Yes. We used to have 13 to 14 kids in the van.
Yeah.
Now the van is a little bit different, Chris. The van we only take 4 kids and that's it. No more. You know, that was at different times.
It says Silicon Valley Tennis on it. That's the one.
Yes. Yeah, that van, we use it to transport the kids, to make sure we take the top players to tournaments. We put it in there. People can see what the kids have. You know, we still have top national ranking players, which is great. Top Northern California kids. We have a girl got in for Maine's Cup. She's only 15. She will play in Maine's Cup. She will play 16. She is the number 1 in Maine's Cup, which is very good. In 18, she's in the top 5 player, national rank, top level, top 7 in the nation, top 8 in the nation, which is very good. In the boys, we have a boy top 3, top 4 in the nation, and then the girls under 12, she's playing 14. She's top 2, 3 in the nation, which is very good. And then we have a lots of kids with UTR 7, UTR 8 in the academy now, which I wish for them to be by the end of the summer UTR 9. That's my goal, and this is one of the things we need to be training very heavy. So I might, Chris, ask you to come over, and you know a few of them, Chris. They need to get you guidance. What kind of guidance? Academically, but the same thing in sports, you know. And for you, David, I think one day when you come to Northern California, I told you, you're welcome to come over. You can drive my ugly car. The Chris loved my car. He took a picture the other day, you know, and we can see the old fashioned about the new fashion. Because when you came, I had a white car. Now I have a red car. So it's a little bit different, little different cars, you know. Couple more things, guys. Tell me, in the next 5 minutes, that you will do it again if you have to come back to Silicon Valley?
100%.
You can say no, okay? You
No.
can say no.
No, I would love to do it. I think the whole. I mean, I would do it again. Absolutely. I think you, and I don't know how it is right now, but I think you did a great job at, the culture was that I remember you not, if you didn't feel like you had a good fit with a certain family, you wouldn't work with them. So that kept your program to run smoothly. That's one. Training itself, I mean, we were talking about all the fitness that we used to do. Again, I would do it again. It's, I mean, even as an adult, I'm still trying to find that type of workout. And I got into CrossFit early on in my professional career, and that's kind of what replicates, or that type of training. I loved it. But yeah, long answer or short answer to your question, absolutely, I will do it again, 100%.
Nice. Chris, tell me.
Yeah, of course I would do it again. I had a great time every time I come to Silicon Valley Tennis. I mean, it's where I made the most progress too. And then, yeah, most importantly, I have now a great friend for forever.
And I want to make sure one more thing, Chris. You and I, we talked almost 1 month ago, and David, we were planning to go back with Chris to train heavily. We were talking very, very good to go back and start training. And I still insist he can make it in the Pro Tour. He has the tools. If you see him play, you will be so surprised. That forehand is killer. His mindset is, when he's sticking, it's hard to break him. And that's one of his greatest things in the game. Decent serve. I know we can improve. You serve a lot, but I do see him, if we will get better. He got a little injured now in his wrist. I don't know what happened. I don't want to hear. I know he's going to start telling me, I don't want to cry at your shoulder. I just want to make sure we start pulling the rubber bands again. We start running. And let's see. Just try it. I told you, try 6 months to play. Go play challengers. Believe me, you're going to make it. I know the level. And I know you have great skills, even to today. So it's not too late. I know you want to finish your PhD. I know that. But give opportunity to yourself to go back to play 6 months. And I know if you make it 6 months consistent playing, your UTR 11.5 is going to go UTR 13, UTR 14 in less than 6 months. This is how talented he is, David. He's one of my favorite players. I really regret one time when he moved back every time to New York. Oh, I hate it. That was one of the things. And we became very good friends, which is wonderful. Hey, guys, I want to say thank you for joining me today. That was wonderful. I hope so parents understand how important is summer. What do you guys learn here? And what is the program is about? Because this is what the program is about. I do care still for the players, like I did it with you, David. I still care. I agree. I don't work with every family, and I've been doing that for many years. If there's no good relation with your family, I don't want to step in. Why? Because the game is coach, parents, and player. And if we do it together, it turns around to be very, very good. But when the player doesn't like the coach or doesn't feel comfortable with the coach, and the parent doesn't trust the coach, no matter, I don't have the magic tool to make it happen. Okay? And Chris, you know that. I think your father trusts me and your mom trusts me a lot. And it goes the same situation. And I know they let you come to me all the time. And I would like to say one more time, thank you for you two to join me today in a wonderful journey for the Academy Silicon Valley Tennis. They started 37 years ago. And we will keep it for 7 more years, maybe 8. And let's see how that goes. Thank you, you two guys. I will see you guys again and we'll communicate. All right?
Francisco.
Thank you.
Thank you, David. Thank you, Chris. See you. Bye-bye.
Did you dream of hitting aces and dominating the court? Silicon Valley Tennis Academy is your one-stop shop for becoming a tennis champion. We offer expert coaching, world-class facilities, and a supportive community to help you reach your full potential. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned player, we have programs designed to fit your skill level and goals. Learn from experienced coaches who are passionate about the game and dedicated to your success. Join our growing team of talented players and see how Silicon Valley Tennis Academy can take your game to the next level. Visit our website at www.siliconvalleytennis.com to learn more and enroll today. Don't miss your chance to be a part of something special.
From youth age, it's my passion of the game, and I want to play. In that time when I was a kid and I grew up, I do love to coach, and I think I like to promote the sport. And I always have a good vision to see how can we grow better players, how can we have top level players.